He is now regaining some sort of quality of life and sort of normality of what you would expect an 18-year-old to be doing, which is really nice to see. But unfortunately, the payoff I know is that will mean he's severely restricting food and fluids, and so it's that, you know, how do you weigh up the risks? The good thing that came out of all of that, I realised we did have a very strong bond, and still do. I mean, he's mum for everything, mum. Sometimes I think, am I hearing mum? But he's not actually calling me, but it's just so ingrained in my head all the time, thinking that someone's going mum. So. Well, I suppose it is like having a bit of a safety blanket, isn't it? And although obviously I really massively worry, there is a point of contact, and also the things that we've learned along the way that haven't worked. Hospitalisation really didn't work. Knowing that they can support me in saying this is the case, these things haven't worked, but him staying at home has worked, and all the things that he has achieved have been done in the home. And I think it's their sort of strong belief that keeping children and young people out of hospital wherever possible, or really limiting the length of stay, are really, really important things that need to be highlighted.
Somebody like Circles, who absolutely love what they're doing and are so much behind and completely understand, and also then recruit the right people who again are so much more involved and so much more personal there. Because the only reason I believe that our daughter got better is because of individuals who are prepared to go the extra mile, if you want. You know, it was in hospital and also in the community. Our support worker, for example, had a chat with her last night and said, how are you doing? She got text this morning. She normally only works with her for 2 days a week, but she's there. Whilst some people from camps, there's not anything which is like individual. You see that one hospital was an NHS hospital, which was like 5 o'clock, I'm going home now. The other hospital, I mean, you see the consultants running around at 10 o'clock at night. And, you know, everybody will say, oh, we can't expect that, but this is how you get somebody better. And it's not just that obviously you are putting in the time, but I also think you want this. You want to get these kids better. That makes such a difference. When somebody actually looks at the individual, as I said before, and not just at somebody as a patient who has to be treated by nice guidelines, but has to be looked at as this individual, and then you literally bring the best out of your patients. And the experience we have with Circles and the support they have given our daughter and us is remarkable. And that's why she went to school today, definitely. It's good in a sense that we have this hope or this knowledge now that no, it is not always hopeless. You don't believe it, even sometimes you meet somebody and say, oh, eventually they might get better or they will get better. When you don't believe it until you experience it yourself. And she is remarkable. I'm very, very proud of her.
If you're working in a truly person-centred way, and it's that understanding, isn't it? Okay, so if the last 3 discharges haven't worked, it's about daring to do something a little bit different, isn't it? But it's around really involving everybody in the planning and keeping those lines of communication going so that we are sharing the same view and we are not losing sight of those goals that are important to the young person. Because it's more than just weight restoring, it's more than just getting back to school. It's about lots of things, isn't it? It's about connecting back to life.
It's definitely really, really tailoring the treatment plan to the individual, realising the effect it has on the whole family.
I think like any job you do, if you're passionate about it, you do such a better job. I mean, and if there are ill patients involved, then you can really make such a huge difference to lives.
I'd like to say that with Circles, they actually pinpoint on what you need help with, and instead of giving you the generic information, they go through like what your needs are and what you need to actually help you instead of what will help the general public.
Does that come back to that thing of Circles treating you as a person?
Yeah, they do a more person-centred outreach.
Cool. Can you explain a little bit about like what that person-centered outreach kind of looks like?
They put the person in the centre of their care, and they actually involve them in decision makings and help them with stuff rather than throwing them to the side and making decisions for them, which might not actually be that helpful.
Because a lot in a resection, it can be not that they don't ask the person every time, do they?
No.
Or, so do you think it's quite important to keep coming back and asking the person?
Yeah, because if you don't, then they're going to feel like abandoned. And then if they feel, I'm not saying that everybody will, but they might feel like, oh, they're not listening to me, I shouldn't even bother trying and things like that.
Is there any advice that you have for like parents about young people?
Young people can be quite difficult, but at the same time, they're still like a person. They still want the loving care that you would give to like a baby who, say, who broke their leg. They would want the same amount of help and support and love that they want if they had a mental health condition. So don't like push them aside, like bring them in and love them more.
There is a technique and art to finding your own way. And just like art, the lesson in life takes time to learn, to develop, patience to master, and skill to nurture, and courage to carry on. Those of us that do find the beauty and hope in the most concentrated darkness, even when there's nobody ready to welcome you home with open arms and a loving heart, home from your long journey of self-discovery, of finding the internal strength you never feel until you need it most. A monotonous symphony willing you on with your desires in mind. Be proud of yourself, you made it here. Nobody else could carry you, only guide you.